to another episode of Making It Happen with Amanda Kaufman. Today, I want to help you to tackle one of these things that's kind of an irritant, a bit of a distraction, and can really pull down on your performance as you're trying to make things happen, and that is email. I get asked a lot about how do you manage email? How do you get out from under email? Email is the great burden of the 2017, almost 18 knowledge worker, right? I mean, we communicate so much over email. And as prevalent as social media is, email is where most of the workday still takes place. And let's just face it, there's just a ton of it. So how do you effectively work with email that it is a performance tool and not a performance hindrance? Well, we're going to focus on some of the top strategies that I have for you, and you'll have to experiment. You'll have to decide what works best for you. But let's get started. So first thing, recognize that email is, as my mentor says, Brendan Burchard, he says that your inbox is a convenient organization system for everyone else's agenda. So the very first piece of wisdom, and I know I'm probably not the first person to suggest this to you, is to defer opening that inbox until after you've made some significant progress on your priorities, your goals for the day. So how do you accomplish this? Well, when I'm on my very best email behavior, I check my email 3 times a day. So usually that's going to look like a late morning check, a mid-afternoon check, and an end of the day check. And when I'm doing really great with it, I don't look at email at night. And I don't look at email while I'm at home at all. Now, that may not seem possible for you. Okay, cool. Not cool, but okay. You can take baby steps with this and still see a big improvement by maybe not having your cell phone plugged in next to your head at night. I know a lot of people go to sleep with their cell phone, they roll over in the morning, and the first thing they do is check to see what important messages have arrived, as if we are all in the position of, needing to be that available. The truth is we generally don't. And by the way, even if you are needing to be fairly available, if somebody really wants to get a hold of you, they will call, right? I mean, think about it. If you really urgently need to get a hold of someone, do you send them an email and hope that they see it? If you are doing that, there are more effective ways, right? Picking up the phone and calling somebody is much more effective than dropping an email, because email is designed to hang out in the inbox until the person is there and available to see it. So that's kind of step one, is just put some boundaries up around when you're actually going to process your email, which brings me to tip number 2. Stop checking your email and start processing your email. So many of us will check our email and check to see whether there's something important in there. And what happens is we look, and if there is something important in there and we don't deal with it right away, now it's just kind of hanging out in our mind, right? And it's not being dealt with. How are you better off checking your email to know that there's a thing that's hanging out there that needs to be done versus processing your email, that when you see that thing, you process through it? So when I say process, and I'm Canadian, so I will say process, not process. All right, I flip between the two because I've spent a lot of time in the US now. But the point is when you process email, whatever you happen to be doing, the idea is that you either deal with it, delete it, delegate it, or defer it. And when you defer on an email, what I really mean by that is that you're going to have to carve out some time to address that thing later. In any case, the really great behavior is to process that email by either deleting it, delegating it, doing it if it takes less than 2 minutes, or deferring it by plopping it onto a to-do list, or even better yet, blocking the time on your calendar that you're going to address and tackle that thing, and then move on. And so with your email organization structure, this is my third tip, don't get fancy. All you need is an inbox that new messages that you haven't processed yet can accumulate in, an archive that you can put emails that you wish to keep but you've dealt with, and that's it. Really? Send folder, I guess, for the messages that you've sent. And then some people like to use a bacon folder. If you use rules in your email, you can actually have emails that maybe don't demand your immediate attention, but you want to read them, like maybe they're newsletters of interest. You can set up rules on your account to have them land in a bacon folder that you check less frequently than your inbox. So if you want a good solution for that, check out Unroll Me, which is an app available on iPhone. I don't know if there's an Android equivalent or not. I'm an Apple user. The Unroll Me app allows you to add those subscriptions, and it kind of rolls them together, and it unsubscribes you from things that you no longer wish to receive. So that's a really great hack. If you don't have that, or you're working maybe in your corporate environment and you've got your Microsoft Office suite, great, use the rules function and you can have the bacon folder. Then use your search capabilities, right? Use the search capabilities and just don't even worry about filing as if these are papers that need to go into a physical filing structure. I think that a lot of time is wasted in email trying to file things. It's not really useful. Just when you're done, archive it or delete it. That's it, right? Use the search engine functionality that's available in every email application if you need to reference back to an email. And even better yet, if there's something you're referring to frequently, you might consider moving that information into a reference notebook. And I can talk for days about how you can organize all of that. But the point is, stop leaving things in the inbox. Start processing them out. And so stop checking email, process email. When you're processing it, do it with like massive intention. Now, my final tip, if your email inbox has gotten just completely out of control and you've got thousands of messages in your inbox, you will never read thousands of messages. I think about that scene from Bruce Almighty when Bruce decides that to process through all of the prayers that he's receiving because he's taken the job of God. He has everything go through email and he's going trying to get through all the email, but the prayers just keep coming in so fast that he can't possibly keep up. Okay, you're Bruce if you've got 4 and 5 digit numbers on your inbox, okay? You're overwhelmed. There's no way that you're actually going to read, process, and respond to all of that. So you have one option, and then you have the mega option. So one option is to sort all your email, and this will only work in an email client. Unfortunately, I can't figure out a way to do it within Gmail. You might be able to do it within other providers. Sort everything by from. Okay, and then process alphabetically through. You can eliminate large swaths of email if you sort by from and you focus on the most recent communications for actual people in the from. Okay, so that's one way that I would recommend that if you absolutely must process through a large volume of email, that's the way you do it. If this is a personal inbox, if this is just an out of control situation, the next thing is to push the detonator button and blow the whole thing up. So here you would be declaring email bankruptcy, okay? And when you declare email bankruptcy, basically you're going to rely on people to come back to you if you haven't responded to the first email, which, by the way, if it's important, they will do. I know of a lot of executives who come back from vacation and the first thing they do is delete everything in their inbox of emails that they've received over vacation because they use that rationale. Hey, if it's important enough, they're going to ask me again. So there you have it. That's my tips for getting really organized in your email inbox. Really great practices to put into practice for the new year. And I hope that this serves you. And I hope that you have an awesome week making it happen. Take care.